Welcome back, and of course, as you can see, Her Excellency Bernice Abu-Baidoo Lansah has finally joined us after, she got us sitting on tenterhooks for a bit because she said it was a Monday morning, new month, and we had to. Really? That's just on the lighter side.
Good morning to you all. Thank you so much for joining the AM show once again. It's time to delve into the big story for today. Over the weekend, we heard from the Minister responsible for communications on the extension of the SIM card re-registration. And she tells us that she reluctantly agreed to extend it. You have 2 more months if you've not done so. And Benjamin, she says, under no circumstance will there be an extension to this new deadline.
I am almost 60–70% sure we just might extend it again.
I also believe so, and also because
she would have to reluctantly extend it again.
Not that we are sounding pessimistic, but when you look at what's happening at the Ghana card registration centers, there is a bit of chaos sometimes. And
sometimes?
And this is not about...
Numbers tell a story.
This is not about people who are even now attempting to register.
Right.
Persons who've registered as far back as 2019 are still yet to receive their cards. That is problematic. There is something the NIA should be telling us. And also, persons who are not yet in the country, who may have local numbers, So it's not as straitjacket as it is. There are a few issues to explore, especially about this new app we have been told about. I know of an
self-service app.
I know of an app that exists. When you go to some of the mobile network centers, when you're going to do the re-registration, sometimes they just use a phone. And I want to believe it's an app. In fact, I know of an app that exists.
Yeah.
If it is the same app we are going to be giving to the general public, the question is, why didn't we explore that angle earlier?
Right.
Because people...
And I see, just to chip in what you're saying, because when I registered for my 2 SIM cards in church, for example, you would see that was the app they were basically using, and then they would take your biometrics and
a photo.
Photos and all of that. So again, we ask ourselves, were we paying for the app when they were using it then? What has changed? Is this a punitive measure? And why 5 cedis? Like I was just sharing with you earlier, 17 million people, that multiplied by 5, that is 85 million Ghana cedis. How do we account for that?
Great question. A lot of questions and angles to explore, but let's hear from the Communication Minister herself, and then we can come back to have that conversation.
The statistics indicate that there was a 90% drop in SIM registrations as soon as the first deadline was extended on 21st March. Until a week ago, there were no queues at any registration center. People started rushing to register when they realized that the deadline was imminent after going to sleep when it was extended. About 50% of those who have completed the first stage of the process have not concluded the second stage. They have linked their SIMs to the Ghana card, and so that cannot be attributed to Ghana card challenges. I've also been informed that some people who have obtained quick loans from their service providers have decided not to register their SIMs to avoid repaying those loans. That is evil corruption, and you will be found out. The MNOs, network operators, and the NCA, and I dare say the NIA too, have all engaged additional staff, procured the necessary logistics, and are incurring significant expenses to conduct this exercise successfully. Any extension of the process increases their costs. Upon consultation with the industry, and in view of the challenges enumerated above, I have very reluctantly decided to grant a final conditional extension. The program will, and I'm choosing my words carefully, the program will be extended to 30th September to end on the anniversary of its commencement. That will give us 1 full year of SIM registration. It will be reviewed at the end of this month, and any SIM that has not been fully registered by the end of August will be barred from receiving certain services, including voice and data services. It will also be more expensive to use unregistered SIMs. The full range of punitive measures will be announced at another press briefing in September. Kindly do not blame your service provider when you suffer that fate due to your own inaction. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. The SIM registration app will be available for download on both Android and iOS this week, barring any unforeseen circumstances. Each registration via the app will be subject to a 5 cedi surcharge. You will pay 5 cedis to register yourself on the SIM registration app. Non-resident Ghanaians who do not have the Ghana card can use their passports to complete the process via the app, but will be required to update their details with the Ghana card once they acquire it. They have up to December 2022 to do so. I urge them to comply with these directives and to contact the NCA if they have any peculiar challenges. Ghanaians on official assignment outside the country or students on scholarships who cannot acquire the Ghana card by December should also contact the NCA. Special provision has already been made for members of the diplomatic corps in consultation with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, and they have been notified. It's also come to my knowledge that amputees and others who have some physical challenge are also a category of persons who are having some difficulties registering their SIMs. We will have discussions with the NIA on how to resolve these challenges. All visitors to Ghana can now acquire SIMs with their passports, and I encourage the airport authority to work with the network operators to provide adequate venues for the acquisition of SIMs at the airport. As indicated earlier, these will be valid for 3 months, and if they want to use them for a longer period, they must acquire the non-citizen ID card to validate their SIMs. Network operators must provision their systems to send notifications to this category of SIM card users. Government, in a bid to develop and build a SIM database with integrity, which will assist in curbing fraudulent activities, secure SIM card-based transactions, and aid the determination of the accurate number of valid SIM cards on the various telecommunications networks at any point in time, commenced the SIM card registration exercise on 1st October 2021. The 6-month exercise, which was expected to end on 31st March 2022, was extended by another 4 months to 31st July 2022 today. The extension was granted to enable over 7.5 million Ghanaians and residents who had not obtained Ghana cards at the time to register their SIMs. As indicated in our press release of 21st March 2022, it was also to give us the opportunity to provide modalities for the registration of diplomats and complete the processes for rolling out a self-service SIM registration app to facilitate the registration of SIM cards for both residents and Ghanaians living outside the country. The current SIM registration statistics indicate that as at 28th July, the total voice SIMs were 42,121,921. That's the information provided me by the NCA. Stage 1 registrations as at that date, 28th July, were 25,260,661, representing 60% of total registrations. Stage 1 of unregistered SIMs were 16,861,260, representing 40%. Stage 2, i.e. those who had fully completed the registration process, were 16,059,350, representing 38%. Unregistered SIMs were 26,062,571, representing 62%. The challenges that have bedeviled these exercises include: 1, the self-service SIM registration app will be ready for commercial launch on Tuesday, 2nd August, as the virtual private network connectivity and API integration with all MNOs was only completed this weekend due to unavoidable circumstances. Adequate time will also be required for the publicity and public education on the use of the self-service SIM registration app, which will enable you to register yourself in the privacy of your own homes without having to queue or go to any network operator. Delays in the issuance of the Ghana card was the largest single challenge bedeviling this exercise. And my information is that the NIA has not been able to issue all eligible persons with a Ghana card, and that as at Thursday, July 21st, 2022, 16,969,034 individuals have registered for the Ghana card, with about 16,535,623 cards printed. 15,702,719 cards have been issued and distributed, whereas some 832,904 cards have not been distributed or collected by those who applied for them. Broadband wireless access registrations also commenced barely a week ago, and they have only been able to register just about 2% of their subscribers as at Friday, 29th July. Many data-only SIMs have also not been registered, and my information is that their owners were not aware that those SIMs also needed to be registered. Those are the SIMs in your MiFis and other devices, not your phones and iPads and those other, but those data-only SIMs. I believe some of them are even in our electricity meters, if my information is right. So, where do we go from here? The security situation in Boku and its environs has also made it difficult for the registration of residents and has slowed down the process in that area considerably. Next steps.
And that was our communications minister very reluctantly, extending the deadline. But I asked myself, you were making a crucial point, which I've asked in the past. Why do we have to, in other languages, they would use something like obstaculate, hamper, the ordinary citizen when it comes to very simple processes? So you want your SNIT, whatever. My SNIT took my biometrics. My Ghana card, they took my biometrics. So if you're going to have something on the back of the Ghana card, should we have another biometric? I mean, is it just to create jobs for people, or is it that we need biometrics to be taken for each? My biometrics haven't changed, have they?
No. And I'm not sure they will change. Do they ever change? They don't change.
Well, sometimes people,
when
you watch movies, sometimes they can take off criminals and all that. But mine haven't changed.
Are very drastic. Something drastic has to happen to you. So aside from the question you've asked, the minister said something about persons with disability.
Right.
And I'm just thinking to myself, having gone through the process of even taking biometrics for a voter registration exercise, this should have been something that should have been vital in at the pre-discussion stage. I mean, pre-implementation, that's what I mean to say.
It basically means they weren't factored into the conversation from the outset. At the
pre-implementation stage, we should have considered persons who do not have arms, fingers. How do you capture their biometrics? What else can you do? So this appears to be an afterthought, and I'm sorry, where the world is going now, it's getting very inclusive. You cannot implement something like this without thinking about it.
That's a section of Ghanaians you've just cut off, basically.
Then there's the other question about the NIA and the telcos. During that presser, I would have wished that we had somebody from the NIA coming to explain to us some of these things, because she admits herself that the initial postponement of the deadline happened because a lot of Ghanaians hadn't been issued with their Ghana cards.
Exactly.
So this is not just a thing of the communications ministry trying to ensure that telcos or Ghanaians register with their telcos. There is something we need to register with the telcos. And I'm sorry.
And when you restrict it and say it's the Ghana card, and people, obviously, a lot of people don't have the Ghana card, what does that mean? It means they can't possibly register, which is why I found it a bit comical. And, you know, I may sound a bit pessimistic about all this, but when you have the problem that, Bernice, you're talking about, where you know millions of Ghanaians do not have the Ghana card, how do you expect them to... That is why I'm saying that, mark my words, likely the 30th of September will come, and if the trend, the numbers registered, mind you, have you gone by some of these registration centers? Both the Ghana card and SIM card
Friday
re-registration. Do you see how slow the process tends to be? If you even look at that process, multiply it by the number of centers we have, you can, from the top of your head, see that the numbers are not matching, and come September, we likely will have to extend.
So,
again.
Benjamin, I must admit, there may be some people who just don't want to go through this because they want to frustrate the system.
That's fine.
But there are genuine issues. There are look at the gentleman Michael spoke to on Friday. He was holding his Ghana card. He goes to his service provider and he's being told, we cannot activate it. We don't know what the problem is. So he now has to go and join a long queue at the Awak Sports Stadium. Okay, Benjamin, look. When I hear SIM re-registration, it just upsets me. Re-registration.
Exactly.
So when you go and apply for your Ghana card, I have my Ghana card. So I know, I'm speaking from experience. Your telephone numbers are taken. They capture your biometrics. In fact, they even capture your iris. Go as far as that.
Like Suleimana would say, it's one of the most invasive processes. So after all of that,
then I have to go and get my biometric takings. Are we using different databases? I don't get it. Because the idea, I believe, of having this whole digitalization drive is for us to have a converged central identification system for every Ghanaian. So wherever you go, using your Ghana card, we know it's you and nobody else.
Right.
So I'm sorry, but it appears to be a very confused
and I agree.
Project.
And is that not even why, at a point, we were talking about, you remember the Vice President and co talking about the fact that the Ghana card, so from the cradle to the grave, even children at a point will be issued with it so that everything you do can be tracked. It makes nonsense of everything we've been doing if we have to go through these processes ad infinitum, ad nauseum. And you know, sometimes these are the things that happen, and then you want to ask yourself, is it just to create openings for certain people? In terms of, because why would one entity register our biometrics? For every card you're going to get, they'll have a different system registering biometrics. Why can't we have one pool to which the state can go and have my biometrics? Why do I have to go through this entire system for the...
Is that not the reason we're doing the Ghana card?
Voter's ID, go through my SNIT, go through my Ghana card, go...
Everything. And, you know, the other thing for me is about how much we have to pay for using the service. Okay, so
maybe right before we get into that, it's time for you to, you know, call in. I'm sure you've had your own experiences. Just call in and share your thoughts with us. 0302 211 691 extension 2. That number will be on your screen. Just call and let us know what you think about this entire process. Now, about the money.
What is that 5 cedi? What are we paying for? That's the question I think I want to ask. What are we paying for the app? What are we paying for? Are we paying for the app? If it is the same app that the telcos or the agents of the telcos are using, do they also have to pay for every individual they register? Does the telcos or do the telcos take care of that cost? If they do, we want to know. And so to say that for self-service, you will then have to cater for the cost. How much are we paying the app developer? Why 5 cedis? Why not less?
Good question.
Why not less?
Good question.
What went into arriving at that amount? She didn't tell us. She didn't break it down for us to know.
Where will that money go?
Good question.
If it's not going to maybe the app developer, and even then we must interrogate why it is costing X amount and all of that. This apparently doesn't have parliamentary approval. So is the minister acting on her own? Where is her locus in all of this? And like I mentioned, when you do the multiplication, 5 cedis by the 17 million or so people, it's 85 million Ghana cedis. That is no joke in terms of money.
Well,
where's it going?
We've got some callers. Daniel is joining us from Ablekuma. Hello, Daniel. Let's hear you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, what I'm saying is all this registration thing is giving us headache in this country. We don't understand that we have the passport, we have the voters ID card, that we can't use it to do the registration. Then we go in for a queue to get NI. You understand? So my problem is this app that is bringing, we are Ghanaians. What should we charge on it? Why are you charging 5 cedis before we can do our self-registration? Once we pay tax, we do other things that is helping the nation. So can't we get anything in this country for free for us, with the Ghanaians or the citizens, to have our way out? So this is my contribution to this registration thing.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Let's go to Wa. Aziz is calling us from there. Hello, Aziz. Good morning. Let's hear you.
Good morning. My name is Aziz Donla. I'm calling from Wa.
Please go ahead. Let's hear you.
That's fine. It's very worrisome. If you go to the NIA office directly, the kind of struggle people are going through. When are they getting their car? Talking of registry. If you go to the telecos, same thing is happening there. Someone from one of the communities in Wa East called Gohi community. The man registered the car, couldn't get the car till this. We are being followed up and he's not getting it. So now if you block such a person's SIM card, have we gone or we have come? If you go to Play, a lot of people have not registered. If you go to Logo, go to Play, a lot of people have not registered. In the Wa East communities, if you go there, it's a remote area. So if government want to help these people as they claim they want to be, then they have to open up the centers and get them their cars as soon as possible. You know, to block their service, one, it's going even to affect the government in particular, because you are using Momo e-levy to get some people to pay e-levy. Now, if you block their service, are they going to pay the e-levy? Meaning your revenue will go down. Then the telecost will also lose. Then the user will also be affected. So I would say that this government have to change their way of doing things. Because the people of this country are suffering. If you are saying that we should pay 5 Ghana cedi and register, look at the way the economy is hard on everyone. And you are asking us to pay 5 Ghana cedi again. For what again? The economy is hard. We need to change things. Thank you very much.
Thank you for calling. Rukaya is joining us from Tamale. Hello, Rukaya. Good morning. Let's hear you.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Mutala from Tamale. First of all, there shouldn't be a deadline for this SIM card.
Your name is what, Rukaya?
Mutala.
Mutala, yes, because I was expecting to hear a female voice when I said Rukaya. Sorry about that, Mutala. Let's hear you.
No problem. First of all, there shouldn't be a deadline for this registration. It should be a continuous process so that everybody can be captured eventually.
Okay.
Secondly, the posture of the minister, she's acting so arrogant and she's supposed to serve us. We pay her, so she should not behave like Ghana belongs to her. And she should also remember that power is transient. They are not going to be in power forever. This is not about politics. We are not her children for her to be dictating us, threatening us, and all sort of intimidation. We pay her with our taxes. The app should not be. They shouldn't reduce it. They should just scrap it off so that it will be free. The app is being created by our taxes. So why should government use our taxes to sell something for us to do? It doesn't make sense. You understand? So they should look on it and see what we can do, but not try to impose on us their authority to just prove to us that they are in power. Anything can happen. And Ghanaians, we are so timid. We pamper these people. They are working for us. We should not be pampering them. We should let them know that if we all stop registering our things, they will come and beg us house to house. So we should not be pampering them. We have to be up and do it and push them to do what is right.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you so much, Mutala, for calling. And I've seen, Benjamin, a number of comments on social media about the posture of the minister.
Right.
You know, when she says, I reluctantly.
Very reluctantly.
You know, it comes across as, I didn't want to do this, but I had to do it. You know, that posture.
I'm doing you a favor, sort of.
Exactly.
Look, if no one is telling people in authority, I think some of us must, that they are there, like a caller just said, to serve us. And at least, even if you think a certain way, when you're interacting with the people, the demeanor must change, because all of this doesn't, it doesn't instill the right kind of feeling in people. And you see people are calling, talking about exactly that. But we have Isa on the line as well. Isa, good morning. Hello, Isa.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
How are you, sir? What do you have to share with us?
Chief. Good morning, sir, Chief.
Good morning. Please go ahead, Isa.
Yeah. But we are disappointed with the NIA registration. In fact, during a mass registration, my people... Hello, I'm saying that we are disappointed with the NIA. Simply because during the mass registration, a lot of people registered and their card is not yet received. And many of them went to the NIA office for several occasions to pick their card, and they said the card is not there, went there several times. And they said they should bring the receipt that they issued to them. We brought it. The name cannot be found. They will check up from the regional level and give them feedback. Up to date, we are not getting any information. Right now, my people are worrying me. I am the supplement of the area. They are worrying me. Whether their names are there or not, they are asking whether if their cards are not there and names can be found from the system, they should give them the opportunity to re-register. They're not giving them the opportunity. Right now, they are saying that they are going to block it. If they block it, how are they going to do?
But you're aware there's been an extension, right? You're aware there's been an extension.
The extension is not the problem. The people, their names, they don't know whether their names are in the NIA office or not, whether their cards are there or not.
Right.
And if they do make registration again, it will be double registration.
Right.
Until the office will give them the go ahead that their names are not in the, and for them that you can go ahead and register them.
Thank you, Isa.
Those people are stranded.
I feel your frustration. Thank you so much, Isa. And Benjamin, so what we are learning is that during the mass registration, there was a bit of a problem with the coding.
Right.
And that is why, like he's saying, some people registered here, but they go to the office and their cards aren't there. So it's possible that their cards may be sitting somewhere else. And this nation is big.
They have no idea. In fact, I've encountered so many people like that. And then you're caught in limbo because you ask yourself, do I try re-registering?
Yes.
And if I do re-register, then they might say I'm a criminal, I'm trying to do something, when in fact, it is through no fault of mine.
So there is a big problem. And the NIA must come clean. Look, this issue you're talking about. So when I went to register for my Ghana card, there was a gentleman who had tried it that way. So, the mass registration exercise didn't come with any cost. But now you need to pay some amount of money to get registered. So this gentleman is waiting for his card. He's not getting it. So he decided that why not re-register? And then he tries and the system flags him. Okay.
Right.
So there's a problem, like you're saying. Why are you doing double registration? The guy is trying to explain. They don't want to hear it because the law doesn't permit that. So the NIA should tell us what is happening. Why is it that people have registered since 2019, 2020, and they cannot access their cards? What are you doing for those, people, such persons? What is the way out for them?
Right.
We should know.
And ask yourself, what card do you register for? Identity, for identification purposes. And it takes 3 years before you get. And on top of that, now you tell people that if on the back of a failed, and I'm using failed here in context because in some ways the system has failed. On the back of this failure, we're going to charge them 5 cedis for the failure that is not theirs.
I think you see, and this issue of the minister saying, so that's someone showing their receipt over there. Look at that. That's proof that she's registered.
Yeah.
And the minister saying, don't ask me any question related to the Ghana card. I'm sorry, madam. We should ask questions related
in
to
fact,
the Ghana card.
I found that so disingenuous because guess what? The Ghana card is the very foundation of what you are doing. And again, people have posed the question about how much integration, how they are working hand in glove in the first place. The NIA, the National Identification Authority, and the Communications Ministry. In the past, there have been issues about...
So let us ask the question. Is the NIA and the Communication Ministry working together? Are these two entities working together? Why didn't we have a rep of the NIA at that particular engagement with the press yesterday? Like Benjamin is saying, you cannot divorce the two. They work together. So why didn't we have a rep there? And why couldn't we ask questions relating to the NIA? Well, our colleague Ina Thalia Kwanzaa joins us from Takrady. Hello, Ina. What are you able to tell us this morning?
So this morning, I've been to the Vodafone area where registration is supposed to kickstart. I've seen some officers there ready, but a few people are here. You can see behind me, this is around the circle, the Central Business District, and this is where MTN also does its registration. But behind me, I can count just like 10 people with the officers there. So it's not really busy as it's supposed to be this morning. But hopefully, we would keep on checking in the course of the day if really people will be trooping in. Unlike 2 days ago when people were trooping in to do their registration, this morning it's a bit calm here.
Sorry, Benjamin, you have to take over. I'm struggling a bit.
So, in Athalia, I get what you mean, and I guess people are trooping in, or at least they will be soon. But what has been the general reaction? How have people responded to the difficulties they've been facing in terms of this registration exercise? What have they been sharing with you?
Yes, Benjamin. So basically, it has been with the issue of network. For instance, MTN for some time now, from last week till now, has got a very poor reception here in the Western region, most part of the region. And so they tell you that you go and you queue for a very long time, and then they keep on telling you network issues. And then with some people too, they would come and then they don't even know their digital address system. And so these are some of the issues that makes the process a bit longer. So these are basically the two issues. And then when it was just about 2 days for the supposed close date, people were trooping in their numbers. Before, people were reluctant. So these are the basic issues in the region for now.
Now that the deadline has been extended, how do people feel? Are they more willing to go through the processes, though the telcos are still facing the challenges of network connectivity and others? Any thoughts they've been sharing with you on that?
Well, people think that it's been extended, and so definitely, even if they are not able to pull through to September, they know that definitely a new date would be given out, and so they would take their time. Those who can register for now, they will, but those who can't, they tell me that they will take their time because they know even if there would be a deadline, it should be probably the close of this year or even extended to next year. That's what they are hoping for.
Finally, Natalia, just quickly on the bit about the 5 CDs. Any thoughts people have been sharing with you on that? Are they willing to pay it?
Well, for some people, they feel that there is nothing wrong with it. It's a divergent view. Others feel that there is no need for them to pay that 5 cedis because, I mean, this is an exercise that they think it's not really necessary. And they even feel that if indeed they are merging with our Ghana card, they already have our database or they already have their database. So what is even the need to queue up and then to go through this process and even pay 5 cedis on top of it? They think it is not the best.
Natalia, we're so grateful that you brought us the scoop from Takoradi. We'll be standing by when you have more to give us, to share with us. But let's quickly bring in Nanaya Jima, who's standing by for us in Kumasi. Nanaya, what is the picture in Kumasi as far as, first of all, securing Ghana cards, then the SIM card re-registration are involved? And tell us about how people are reacting to the deadline extension and the 5 Ghana CD payment that has been introduced.
Good morning, Benjamin. So in Kumasi, it's still early. The MTN offices in Kumasi are yet to see people in their numbers. Last week, when they knew that deadline was on Friday, when you come here, you see a number of people seated, awaiting the registration or for the registration to take place for them. But after a lot of people who troop in, some wouldn't even be able to get seats within the tent that have been mounted here. So they have to stand outside the tent. Some have to sit on the ground, waiting for their turn to get their registration done for them. But today, as at 8 a.m., when the office of the MTN here at Aija opened, a number of the seats are empty. I would want to turn my camera around so that you can see what exactly is happening here. Most of the seats here are empty, but the service provider, that's MTN, have made sure that they have a number of their staff going around each of the seats here, or the occupied seats here, to give the service or offer the service to the people here. It looks like I'm seeing a lot more staff than earlier times when I visited this area, meaning that the service provider is ready and geared towards ensuring that everyone who visits this place gets the service that the people pay for. Now, I've been speaking to some of the people, and according to them, they visited here last week, but unfortunately, they were not able to get the registration done for them. So when they heard of the extension, they decided to take advantage of it and come get the service rendered to them. So they are happy or excited about the situation. But there are some few coming through to this place. Some few who tell me that they still have challenges with the Ghana card. The office of the NIA is still choked with a lot of people who are waiting to receive their Ghana card so that they can proceed to get this service that's being rendered to them here at the telecom company's office. So there are still some people awaiting their Ghana cards for them to allow them to get access to this area and get the registration done. So what I can say is that even though the days have been extended, the offices of these telecom networks are yet to see the numbers that they were witnessing last.
Very much, Nanaya Jima, for bringing us the scoop on that.
Yes, let's head to the Bono East region now, where Anas Abit is for us. Hello, Anas. What can you report where you are?
Bernice, right at the MTN office here in Kichima, where, as I speak to you, we have people trooping in to ensure that they take advantage of the extension of this deadline by the Communications Ministry. Of course, I have been able to engage a few of the MTN officers here, and they tell me the exercise will be starting within the next couple of minutes. But we have a number of people already in here, like I said earlier, trying to take advantage of the extension to also ensure that they get their SIM cards registered. The numbers compared to 2-3 days ago haven't been same, but I can say we have a lot of people here all telling me they don't want to take chances at all. They want to ensure that this time around they register on time to avoid what they went through in the past 2 days.
Right. Okay. So, Anas, we'll leave it here for now. But some of you have been engaging on some social media as well. And sorry, we are not able to take any more calls. We've also been trying to reach the NIA to get a sense of what's happening and what's being done to resolve the many issues that you have and some other people have with their Ghana card. I'm seeing a message on our live stream right now from Asonaba Nana Ofori Atta, who says, my problem is that she needs to find out what's making some people not able to register their SIM. And has she also found out what the solution to that? For instance, I was told my Ghana card has been rejected and I have walked about it, no feedback from them. And I'm asking her, is it my fault? I'm sure that's a question a lot of you are asking.
Genuine
is it
concern.
My fault? I took part in the registration. I've been given a card. Well, I'm told there are activation issues. I've been trying to work on it, but I still don't have a solution. Madam Esla, this gentleman and many other people are asking, is it my fault? And I think this is the reason why the NIA should have been at that presser yesterday, to answer questions for people like this. What do they do?
There are genuine problems, and I feel part of it stems from the lack of working hand in glove between the NIA on one end and the Communications Ministry on the other. I think they need to get that synergy going, else many people will keep suffering like this. And the walk around, you know, I watched this little bit about someone who had gone to LWAC and kept complaining that, look, I'm losing a whole day of work. I'm spending money feeding myself. Yes. I am transporting myself here. I go, they tell me, come tomorrow, come tomorrow, come tomorrow. An entire week is lost. And that can be replicated for hundreds and thousands of people.
These are working adults who are supposed to be productive, spending their time registering their SIM cards. Well, hopefully the self-service app will help for people who don't have issues with their Ghana card. But we still
hopefully the biometrics will work.
Yes.
Have you noticed the problems even when you go there when it comes to the biometrics? Hopefully, even with the app, the biometrics wouldn't impede further.
Well,
people
Benjamin, I just hope that we are able to reach the PRO of the NIA to get some responses. We've been trying, but we've not received any response yet. We'll keep trying, and hopefully we'll be able to get some of your questions answered. But now we have to move on to our next conversation, Benjamin.